Hello pioneers, and a special hello to the developers watching this. I spent this past weekend sitting in my study, combing through the preliminary submissions for our latest Pi Utility and Empowerment Hackathon. And I have to be honest with you, my feelings were mixed. I saw brilliance. I saw elegant code, a mastery of smart contracts, and sophisticated financial modeling, but here is the hard truth. Out of over 1,000 projects submitted, nearly 40% were variants of decentralized exchanges. Another 30% were lending protocols, liquidity farming pools, or complex synthetic asset platforms. Everyone, it seems, is trying to be the next Uniswap, the next Avi, or the next Compound. I saw notes from talented young developers saying, Dr. Fan, look, our automated market maker algorithm is 5% more efficient than the market standard. Or our flash loan logic maximizes capital utility. Facing this immense talent that seems to be drifting slightly off course, I feel compelled to offer a reality check. I want to pour a bucket of cold water on this trend, but only to clear the smoke so we can ignite a new, brighter fire. I want to say this clearly to every developer and every aspiring entrepreneur in the Pi ecosystem. Please, stop trying to build the next Uniswap. We don't need another DEX. We need the next Uber, the next Airbnb, the next TaskRabbit. Why am I making this urgent appeal now? Why am I asking you to shift your gaze from financial games to real life? Today, speaking as both an anthropologist and a computer scientist, I want to discuss the wrong turn Web3 has taken and where the true opportunity lies for Pi Network. 1. The trap of financial self-reference first. Let me be clear. I am not denying the value of DeFi. Uniswap is a marvel of engineering. It replaced the core functions of the New York Stock Exchange with a few hundred lines of code. That is a miracle. But look at the reality of 2026. On Ethereum, on Solana, on almost every public chain, DeFi is saturated. The entire crypto industry is trapped in a loop I call financial self-reference. What is this? It is money making money, token swapping for tokens. Token A is staked to mint token B, which provides liquidity to harvest token C. The process looks bustling. The total value locked climbs higher and higher. But ask yourself this. Did this process create even an ounce of value for the real world outside the blockchain? Did it help a coffee farmer in Kenya get a better price? Did it help a single mother in New York find a freelance gig? Did it help a student in Tokyo rent an affordable apartment? Most of the time, the answer is no. These protocols are like exquisite casinos floating in the sky. The chips move fast up there, but they have no connection to the solid ground of the real economy. For Pi Network, we have over 60 million real, verified users. We do not need to turn these 60 million people into 60 million gamblers. If the Pi ecosystem is filled with 1,000 exchanges, then Pi becomes nothing more than a speculative ticker symbol. We do not lack places to trade tokens. We lack reasons to use them. When you are racking your brains on how to compete with a 0.01% slippage advantage, you are ignoring the biggest gold mine in the Pi network, the people, and the genuine collaboration needs between them. 2. Redefining Uber. The sociology of decentralized collaboration. When I say build the next Uber, I am not asking you to copy a ride-sharing user interface. I am referring to the sociological essence behind it. What is the core value of Web2 giants like Uber or Airbnb? It is mass strangers collaboration. Uber allows a stranger who dares to drive and a stranger who needs a ride to establish trust and complete a transaction within minutes. This was a massive leap in human history. But the Web2 Uber is flawed. It is a centralized beast. Extraction, they take a massive cut, 20% to 30%. A huge chunk of the value created by the worker is siphoned off by the platform. Data silos, you cannot take your reputation score with you when you leave. Opaque rules, algorithms assign work arbitrarily. Isn't this exactly what Web3 is supposed to solve? The essence of blockchain is a decentralized trust machine. We have immutable ledgers and smart contracts. Theoretically, we can replace the middlemen with code, allowing drivers and passengers to transact peer-to-peer, returning that 30% profit back to the people. This is what I mean by building the next Uber, using Pi's technology to reconstruct service relationships in the real world. 3. Why Pi is the only soil for a Web3 Uber? You might ask, Dr. Fan, people tried this on Ethereum and failed. Why can Pi succeed? This brings us to Pi's unique advantage. The biggest hurdle to building a Web3 Uber is not technical, it is human. On Ethereum, you are just a cold wallet address, 0x a string of characters. I don't know who you are. I don't know if you are a bot. If I need someone to walk my dog, do I dare trust an anonymous hexadecimal string? No, anonymity is the enemy of real-world service, but Pi Network is different. First, we have KaiC. This is the moat we spent 6 years building. In the Pi ecosystem, behind every account is a verified, living human being. This provides the foundational base of trust. When you hire someone on the Pi app, you know that if they act maliciously, their reputation in this network is traceable. Accountability exists here. Second, we have the trust graph. Pi's security circle is not just a mining mechanism, it is a map of human relationships. In the future, apps can use this. As a passenger, I would prefer a driver who is in my friend's security circle. This is social capital on the blockchain. Third, we have 60 million users with wallets ready. Uber's hardest challenge was getting people to download the app and link a credit card. In Pi Network, 60 million people already have the app, the wallet, and the currency. The market is ready. 4. 3 directions for developers. So, if not a DEX, then what? Here are 3 directions to inspire you. 1. The decentralized gig economy in 2026. Inflation is still hurting families globally. People need income. Build a marketplace where a designer in Brazil can use Pi to edit photos for a shop in Korea. Where a neighbor can be hired to fix a leaky pipe. Use smart contracts for escrow. Pi is released only when the job is done. You don't need to slice the financial pie. Slice the Web2 middleman pie. Give that value back to the community. 2. Local services and online to offline. StarMax-proof Pi works in physical stores. We need more. Build a Yelp for Pi. Reward users for reviewing merchants who accept Pi. Build a marketplace for goods. 60 million people have unused items in their garages. They want to turn that clutter into Pi. This is the capillary system of our economy. 3. Content and IP. In an age of AI noise, human creation is scarce. Build a Patreon on Pi. Let readers unlock an article for 0.01 Pi. Because Pi handles micropayments efficiently, we can empower creators directly without ad networks spying on them. 5. Conclusion. Do the hard thing. I know building these apps is hard. Forking Uniswap takes a week. Building a decentralized service platform takes months. It requires thinking about maps, disputes, and user experience. But as I said at the start, don't do the easy thing. Do the right thing. If you are here to make a quick buck, go launch a meme coin on another chain. But if you want to build a legacy, if you want true user loyalty, if you want to use technology to improve the world, Pi is your home. Imagine 5 years from now, when people talk about your app, they won't say, that token pumped and then crashed. They will say, thanks to this app, I fed my family when I lost my job. Don't build the next Uniswap. The world doesn't need more casinos. Build the next Uber. Build the next Amazon. Build the next way of life. Use your code to warm this world. Thank you.